Hey buddy, this is Colin and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I make a little short video about how to play cruiser in World of Warships. Now this is my personal opinion and this is pretty much how I think when I play cruisers. There's pretty much two basic play styles for me when I play cruisers, and those two play styles depend pretty much all about what kind of game style the game is. Is it a 3 or 4 cap domination mode? Like this fight is a 3 cap? Or is it a standard battle when each team have one big base? So in this type of game mode, when it's 3 or 4 caps that needs to be controlled, I play pretty aggressive as a cruiser player, because the main focus in all of these battles is the caps, and there is the biggest thing that most players seem to get wrong. They think they should kill the enemy team, and sure, that's great, but if you don't control the caps, you will lose. Doesn't matter how good you're gonna play, because if the enemy team control all the caps, your tickets will bleed out and you will lose. So, when I play 3-4 cap domination mode, I always communicate directly with the destroyers. The destroyers are the most important players in these kind of game modes, and it's really them that you need to protect as a cruiser. So I always try and communicate. Now this destroyer on our flank loaded in quite late. So I already put myself in the position, and I have also managed to spot the enemy destroyer that is capping, and he's my main focus, not that shores in the background. Sorry if I'm butchering that name. So I need to decap and contest the Ognivoy that is trying to cap. And I see I have a friendly cruiser and the friendly destroyer on its way to help me. And since the Murmansk is a paper ship with a big citadel, I can't really go right into this little strait, because then I would be focused and killed pretty easily. The Murmansk is the Russian sniper, so I need to play like a sniper and snipe from afar. That is one of the strengths of the Murmansk, or the MacMurder, it's also called. So I pretty much just try and scare off that Ognivoy so it's not capping. And if I play the other kind of game mode, that is standard battle, with those 2 big bases on each side, then I would play more like the supporting fleet role as a cruiser, where you can hang a little bit further back. Of course, you still need to protect and escort your destroyers and help them, because the destroyers are always gonna be key players in any game. But you can also have the luxury of escorting and helping friendly battleships. So that is pretty much the two different play styles that I apply in my games when I play cruiser. So either you guard the destroyers and help them out to secure the caps and engage enemy destroyers and enemy cruisers that are trying to contest their capping, or in a standard battle you can hang back a little more and engage targets from afar, but still of course, help the destroyers on your team. Because as soon as you kill the enemy destroyers, our team will have a huge advantage. Now I managed to kill that Ognevoy that was capping, but somehow the cruiser and the destroyer on my team managed to get killed as well. So now I am alone with 2 enemy cruisers focusing me down, and the enemy got the cap because they also had a mini-kase helping. So now I am kiting away, and this is where the shores makes a huge mistake. He probably think that I'm kiting away because I'm afraid of him and I want to flee, but that is not what I'm doing. I am baiting him to follow me because I want him to follow me. Because there are some cruisers in the game you should never try and follow. If you've seen my earlier video with Mikhail Kutuzov, that was a great example of that as well. You should never try and chase after a Kutuzov, because that's what he wants. He will spam fire upon you and melt you down. And if you've seen this cruiser, we pretty much started out with the same HP. We were both at 20,000 when we started this engagement. And I lost 300 and he lost quite some more. And I'm just kiting away, and one other strength of this ship is that I have pretty much a full broadside to fire on the enemy whichever way I turn my ship. So I have always guns on targets, as you can see by my target markers. Sometimes the Murmansk feels like St. Louis in that way. You can always fire a gun, doesn't matter how you turn. So he's trying to avoid my fire, but I can hit him pretty easily, while he's trying to hit me and pretty much get nothing. And I'm starting fires on him and he's just burning and melting down. So he pretty much fall for my tactic. And this is of course something you should never do. Never follow a Murmansk or a Kutuzov, or pretty much any Russian or German cruiser for that matter, because they will have the advantage. Especially especially German cruisers that always have the 2 guns in the rear of the ship. So you can see he's burning down, he's almost dead, and I'm still at 19,300 HP. So I have pretty much not taken any damage this whole engagement, while he is just burning down. And there he dies. So now I will start heading up towards sea, because I want to cap that for our team. And it looks like I have 2 enemy battleships and 1 enemy cruiser, perhaps, north of sea. So I need to have this in mind when I'm capping. Now this next part was kind of a what the fuck moment for me. When you're gonna see the next enemy that I engage up at sea, I couldn't really believe my eyes that he played like that, but you will soon see what I'm talking about. So we have 1 cap to their 2. So It's not really good that they have advantage in caps, although we have a point advantage and a ship advantage. It can really still turn really fast. You see their tickets are really closing in on us. So you can't really ignore the caps, even though you have an advantage in tickets and ships. Because shit will happen very fast. Now I have some friendly ships on the west flank that are contesting A cap, which is really great. So we are really fast turning this match in our advantage. We have a low health Fuso and it looks like a pretty full health New Mexico on my flank. So I'm just heading straight into C cap. It looks like the other battleship died. So the New Mexico is still heading towards me. And my first thought was to perhaps try and torp him through the narrow strait. But still there is that island on the other side, so I wasn't really sure that I was gonna be able to hit him. Because of course he's gonna go on the left side of that island. There really isn't any reason for a battleship to go through that narrow passage on the right side of that island. Now they have a Omaha contesting our B cap, and even though we have a huge advantage, you should never ever miss out on an opportunity to engage an enemy that is trying to cap your base, because you can't really let them get away with that, given how good the game is going for you. So I'm launching my spotter plane and I'm trying to get a good lead on the target. I managed to decap him once, which is great. And also this is a great way to boost up your XP gain in the match. Because base defense and capping bases are pretty much the golden ticket to get the good experience. Now this is what this was a what the fuck moment I was talking about. I mean, there's a full health New Mexico, and he knows I'm here because I'm capping, and he knows I'm probably a cruiser or a DD. No, sorry, it can only be a cruiser, but he still thinks it's a good idea to head straight through this narrow strait where he has no way of maneuvering. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever floats your boat. I just gonna sit here and wait for you, and then I gonna torp your ass. So go ahead. And sure, I wouldn't be so cocky if he would have chosen another way of approaching me, but since he chose this way, I know that I have a huge advantage on him. So I'm shooting off my first salvo, and I can tell that he isn't even trying to slow down or do anything to dodge any incoming torps. So this is a full health New Mexico. And now I'm starting to speed up because I want to turn my ship and get my other torps on him. I got 3 torp hits and 2 floods. Yeah, sure. He hits me real hard, citadels me through the length of the ship, but that was his chance of damaging. Now he has to deal with my torps. And my fires. So this is how you kill a full health New Mexico in a beat up Murmansk. And that was the game, unfortunately. I was hoping it would go for a bit further, but I managed to pull off some great credits, some great experience. Made number 1 in the match, which is always nice when you're a low tier. And Did some decent damage, not so many fires that I was hoping for, but still a pretty good game. So this is how I play cruisers, and this is how you should not engage Murmansk or Kutuzovs. Thank you very much, leave a like and subscribe for more gameplay. Have a good one.